Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is the #1 comfort food in every single state.
Oh, I mean, this is going to be interesting because we are coming to America.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what the comfort food is in
We are
California
going
and
to
Texas.
we are going to a couple of states, California and Texas. So it'll be interesting what the comfort food
And we
is.
have to try it.
We have to try this comfort food, 100%. Let us know in the comments what other foods we should try in Texas and California, must tries, and where we should try them. Don't say Whataburger, because if we try Whataburger in California, people have a go at us.
Yeah.
You got to do it in Texas, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you got to state where you want us to try that food, so we don't get it wrong. Smash the like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. We've done multiple videos like this before, and it's just awesome to see, and we're always interesting. And I'm ready.
I'm
You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. What we got? The #1 comfort food in every state. What we got?
Get ready for a mouth-watering journey from crispy fried
ready.
green tomatoes to silky, slippery dumplings and the underdog food favorite.
Okay.
Indulge in the #1 comfort foods across states, north and south.
I'm on lunch and I'm
Made
hungry.
from thick, chunky slices of fresh green tomato that have been dipped in egg and flour or cornmeal and then fried to golden perfection, fried green tomatoes are the epitome of classic Southern cooking. The dish started as a way to use up unripe tomatoes before they could spoil, and has grown into a staple of Alabama home cooking. Tangy and savory with a satisfying crunch in every bite, these Montgomery faves only get better when dipped in a bit of remoulade or spicy mayonnaise. Throughout
It'd be
Alaska,
interesting,
king
that.
crab legs are a favorite regardless
Not
of whether
surprised
they've
it's
been
seafood
boiled.
for Alaska.
That does make sense.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that does make sense. I mean, maybe you'd give this a go. I've tried
crab.
before.
I don't mind
wasn't
crab.
a
It's
bit-
not too bad.
It was a bit slimy. Maybe it was just the crab I had. I'm not a big fish fan, but maybe I'll
Your
you know what?
stepdad will love that.
If I'm in these situations and someone says you've got to try this state's comfort food, I would give it a go.
Luckily for you, we're not going to Alaska.
Yeah, we're going to get in.
See what California is.
Boiled, grilled, steamed, or baked. Tender, sweet, and succulent on their own, and only better when dipped in a vat of butter, the king crab has come to serve as a symbol of Alaska's resilience. Harvested in the cold waters
Oh,
of
it is
the
a
Bering
beast.
Sea, this
massive.
prized delicacy is especially treasured by locals who get to enjoy it at its freshest. Chimichangas are made from grilled tortillas that have been
Chimichangas?
filled with ingredients
That looks
ranging from
nice.
shredded chicken to beef to pork, and are then rolled up like a burrito and deep fried until golden brown. An Arizona favorite, they provide everything you could want in a classic comfort food.
That looks
Satisfying
good.
crunch, hot savory filling, and mouth-watering toppings like sour cream, hot sauce, and guacamole.
It is like a
It's
spring
enough to
roll.
make even the saltiest
Dinner.
superhero fall in love.
Time to make the chimmy changas.
Chicken
You know
and
what?
dumplings are typically made
I'm not seeing that movie. Let us know if
No.
we should check that
Would
movie
you?
out. I think it's Deadpool.
Okay.
But I've never heard of chimichangas before. So it's made it into a movie before I heard about it.
Yeah.
Never heard about it.
made from a biscuit-like
Ooh,
mixture
chicken
of flour,
dumplings.
baking
Ooh.
powder, salt, and milk. The
Interesting.
dumpling, which is then dropped into a pot with hot broth and chicken and cooked until doughy, like a noodle. Once a
Okay,
staple
like a
for
noodle,
lower-income
okay.
families, the dish has become a favorite throughout the state of Arkansas, including some of Little Rock's most high-end restaurants.
That is
When you think
interesting.
of California cuisine, fish tacos like
No, the thing is, I'm alright if it's like
Likely come
cod
to
and
mind.
stuff like that. I'm okay. Or
Okay.
like haddock. I'm
So we're gonna have
okay.
to try
and
fish
for good
tacos.
reason.
Yeah,
They were created
never
by
heard of
street
them.
vendors working along the coast
Look
who
good.
wanted a delicious, portable way to sell their catch of the day. The battered and fried chunks of cod, halibut,
go.
or tilapia served in a
I'll
warm
take cod.
tortilla and topped with greens, tomato, onion, and lime juice epitomize everything fresh and sunny and
that'd be
ocean-packed
nice.
that there is to love about the Golden State.
They're so good. I mean, look at this beautiful taco.
Let us know the best place to get them
Yeah.
from in California. Let us know.
In and around the Rockies, people from Colorado are often called greenies due to the state's distinctive green license plates. But
Okay.
there's another reason to call Colorado locals greenies as well: their love of chili verde, or green chili. A popular dish first dreamt
That
up by
looks nice.
Spanish settlers, green chili is a slow-cooked mixture of pork or chicken plus green chilies, potatoes, beans, or tomatoes. It's a hearty, spicy, and
It looks like a
slightly
nice
sweet
winter
stew
meal.
that's
Yeah.
perfect for the state's outdoor active lifestyle and brisk, unpredictable weather.
Yeah.
The beloved hamburger already holds a place in the Comfort Food Hall of Fame, but in Connecticut, they've swapped out that frying for some perfectly placed steam to create their iconic steamed cheeseburger. Invented a half-century ago in the small town of Meriden, steamed cheeseburgers take everything you already love about regular burgers and make them better. They're
Okay,
juicier,
ooh.
the cheese
They
is
look good.
meltier,
Look
and the bun is
interesting.
even more moist and delicious. Yum!
Ooh, okay.
Delaware's slippery
Interesting.
dumplings are a wildly popular regional
Dumplings again.
variation on the beloved staple chicken and noodles. In this case, the dish originated with the Pennsylvania Dutch, who also settled
Right.
parts of Delaware. Slippery dumplings are a lot like traditional noodles, but also chewier and more satisfying, thanks to their jumbo size. Because of their thickness, slippery noodles also tend
think
to
I
soak
like
up
it.
all the flavors of the chicken broth they're cooked in, creating
Yeah, I mean, you love dumplings. Do you? I think you do.
Yeah,
I've just said
I mean,
you love them. I don't know if
I don't
you
know. I
love
don't
them.
think. I think love's quite a strong word. I mean, I like them.
You like dumplings. I don't mind them.
It's not my favourite food, but
The
I do
reason I
like
said
them.
love is because you definitely prefer them more than me. So I was like, I don't mind
kind
them.
of like those kind of stewy, brothy kind of.
Yeah, you love noodles as well, noodly texture, and it's got chicken in it. What's wrong with that? Do you know what I mean?
So
It's a win-win-win.
A delicious combo of savory and slightly sweet flavors in every bite. Believed by many to have been created in the Florida
We need
Keys
to
in
try
the
this.
mid-1890s by a woman known only as Aunt
We're gonna
Sally,
make this
key lime
ourselves.
pie is a classic comfort food dessert loved for its unique mixture of tangy, creamy, and sweet flavors. The pie typically consists of a graham cracker crust that is filled with a mixture of sweetened condensed milk, key lime juice, and egg yolks, and then baked until set. It's
Okay.
then topped with lush whipped cream or frothy meringue, making it the perfect relaxing comfort food. Not to be outdone by its neighbor to the south,
Peach
Georgia
pie.
too chooses pie as its favorite comfort food of choice.
We need to
Only
try
in
this
this
as well.
case, it's a pie that pairs perfectly with the state's official moniker of the peach state. It's peach pie.
Slice of peach.
Never had
In
it.
Georgia.
Made with fresh, juicy peaches that are baked between two layers of flaky golden crust, peach pies have become a staple of Georgia cuisine, as the dessert is the go-to option for countless family gatherings and picnics.
Okay.
A staple in Hawaiian culture for centuries, poke bowls exploded in
What
popularity
is
across
that?
the mainland in the last few years. But if you want good, authentic poke, you
gotta be
have to go
seafood.
back to where the dish first
Wait.
No, not
started.
necessarily.
That looks raw.
Because I think it might be sushi that.
Yeah,
But-
like that meat, the fish looks raw.
But I went to shop literally half an hour ago and they had a poke bowl, and it's like I'm guessing it's like healthy. I don't know.
It might be
looked-
different. It might be the same.
That looks really healthy. in
Did
that
it look
shop.
really healthy?
But
did
it looks similar to this.
Okay, got you. But that just looks like raw fish. Like really raw fish.
A typical poke bowl consists of diced raw fish, soy sauce,
Oh,
sesame oil, onions,
interesting.
and seaweed served
Raw
over white
fish.
rice. And you don't have to go fancy to get good poke. Some of the island's best comes from casual on-the-go settings, like gas stations and convenience stores.
Okay.
Idaho may be known as the potato state, but when it comes to comfort foods,
Whoa.
its residents choose beef all the way.
What
A
is
half
that?
century or so back, a chef in Boise started serving up finger-sized strips of breaded, battered, deep-fried top brown steak. And a
Wow.
regional
That
favorite
sounds
was born.
interesting.
Finger steaks have been popular throughout the state ever since.
Look at
Typically
that.
served with a side of cocktail sauce, these crispy, tender shards of beef are salty and savory on the outside and moist and juicy inside.
Okay.
Perfect for a quick snack or a
I
full-on
think
meal.
I like that.
Finger steaks? You have some strange foods in Iowa.
Ever heard the term pizza pie? If so, then
Ah,
you might have
yes.
been talking to someone
I mean, I was literally just thinking actually, a lot of these we've not heard of. We've done a lot of similar videos to this.
Yeah.
Never heard of a lot of these foods.
No.
Which is awesome because I'm learning something like the steak fingers. That
Yeah.
looks interesting. It kind of reminds me of what people said is chicken fried steak,
Yeah.
which I haven't had, just in fingers.
Yeah.
Chicago style pizza though. We have the fake little Chinatown.
make this.
Is it Chicago Town?
Yeah,
pizzas?
Chicago Town pizza.
And obviously they're not real. The little microwave water, little freezer ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
But we need to try a proper one.
Yeah, I think we need to make it. I think
'Cause-
we could make that.
Even the bad ones are good.
Mm-hmm.
They are really good.
from Illinois, where the Chicago-style pizza reigns supreme. The
How
ultimate
deep
deep
it
dish
is.
treat, Chicago-style pizzas were created as an alternative to
That's called
trendy,
pizza
thin
pie.
crust pizzas of the 1940s. They typically consist of a thick, buttery crust, tomato sauce, cheese, and toppings, plus a selection of meats and vegetables served in thick swaths, almost like a savory Italian layer cake. Delish. But is it really pizza?
This is not pizza. This is tomato soup in a bread bowl.
The European nation of Austria and the state of Indiana may not appear to have much in common at first glance, but they have one big thing in common. The populations of both love tenderloin. In
That looks
Austria,
good.
it's the Wiener Schnitzel, and the comfort food of choice in Indiana is the pork tenderloin sandwich, a slab of luscious pork tenderloin thinly pounded, breaded, and served on a billowy bun. Talk about comfort. It doesn't matter how you prepare these golden ears, folks in Iowa can't get enough of the ever-popular summer staple, sweet corn. The comfort food of choice in the Hawkeye State, Iowa is the largest producer of corn in the nation and the home to some
Wow.
of the most incredible, fresh, sweet corn you may ever get a chance to gnaw off the cob. Shuck
Bet
it from
that's
that
good.
leafy green
Ooh, a bit
husk,
of
cook
butter.
until tender,
butter and
douse it in
salt.
butter, and let your taste buds soar. It's hard to imagine, but there was once a time when barbecue pitmasters cut off the ends of the brisket and threw them away, thinking no one would want them because they were
heard
burnt.
about that.
we've heard about it in the reactions, haven't we? Apparently, burnt ends were really good.
Yeah.
So
we've got to try some.
We've got to try
Terry
some burnt
Blacks.
ends. Definitely at Terry Blacks.
They eventually caught on to the error of their ways, and burnt ends, the rich, smoky, and crisp yet juicy tips of barbecued brisket, have become the star of the show ever since.
Oh, we
In
need to
Kansas
try it.
City, in particular, home to great barbecue, burnt ends are the comfort food of choice for many. Kentucky's Hot Brown Sandwich is a late-night snack turned comfort food classic. Created by Fred K. Schmidt, a chef at Louisville's Brown Hotel in the 1920s, the dish was originally intended to feed out-of-town guests and locals who had danced in the hotel's ballroom until the wee hours.
Okay.
Schmidt dreamt up an open-faced sandwich of turkey, bacon, and cheesy Mornay sauce,
that's
which he
nice.
then baked and
Interesting,
served
but
hot.
nice.
The sandwich was an immediate hit and has been quenching cravings ever since.
I'm
No
so
dish
hungry.
says Louisiana more than jambalaya, a centuries-old
could
pairing
try
of
this
Spanish
meat today.
paella plus French and African.
Yeah, we've seen this quite a lot. It's very fishy, isn't it? I'd give it a go.
I think I'd like it.
If we find somewhere which does it, I think we'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Louisiana Southern comfort food.
I could make
pretty
this
much.
as a dinner for us.
We could try and make it. Like you say, you could try and make it, and then we could try it in the US as well. Again, let us know in the comments if you want to see us trying to make these things before we go.
Let
and
us
then
know
try
what we
the real
should try
thing.
and make.
Yeah, let us know what we actually should try and make. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
In culinary traditions and cooking techniques, jambalaya usually includes a selection of meat, vegetables, and spices, all simmered together with rice in a tomato-based broth.
Okay.
It's a savory and slightly sweet entree with a subtle kick of heat that Louisianans can't help but crave. Prior to the 1800s, lobster was considered a poor man's food and in such low demand that farmers used lobster meat to
back in a
fertilize
way.
their fields. Today, though, lobster is a high-end entree and something nobody loves more than the folks living in Maine. As the largest lobster-producing state in the nation, maniacs know a
that
thing
looks
or two
nice.
about preparing in-demand seafood, and they can't get enough of the lobster roll, chunks of fresh lobster mixed with mayo and served atop a buttery toasted bun. It's a comfort food classic. Like the lobster roll, crab cakes are another dish inspired by a regional abundance of seafood. In this case, Maryland and the state's incredible blue crabs. A classic Maryland crab cake usually includes fresh lump crab meat, mayonnaise, breadcrumbs, Old Bay seasoning, mustard, and Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
Nice.
These ingredients are mixed together and shaped into
interesting.
patties that are then fried or broiled until crispy on the outside and tender on the inside.
Oh, wow.
It's a dish so popular that locals have been scarfing it down for nearly a century.
It does
Wow.
look good. That's something which is unique, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Where do you ever see that?
No, you don't. Yeah.
And if we're not hungry enough, a Domino's has now popped up. I'm literally on lunch, starving.
It's a dish so popular that locals have been scarfing it down for nearly a century. Another East Coast state, another perfect seafood-inspired comfort dish.
Okay.
This time, it's clam chowder, the comfort food of choice throughout the state of Massachusetts. This simple yet hearty soup, which combines chopped clams, potatoes, onions, bacon, and either milk or cream, has been uber popular throughout the Bay State since at least the 18th century. In fact, America's oldest restaurant, the Union Oyster House in Boston, has been serving the soup consistently on its menu since the place first opened up way back in 1826.
Oh, wow. That's a
How does
long
a Coney
time.
Island-inspired hot dog end up the comfort food of choice in Michigan? Think Greek
A
immigrants
Coney
who were
dog.
inspired by the hot dogs they ate in Brooklyn and took that idea west to their new homes.
Look how
Numerous
round
Coney
they are.
Island-style
Yeah.
restaurants
Look at
popped
that.
up throughout Detroit in the
can
early
make that as well.
1900s, and some are still in operation today. The star of their menu, the classic Coney, a beef hot dog topped with all-meat chili, yellow mustard,
so much
and
stuff
diced
in it.
onions, and served in a warm, steamed bun. What could be better than a classic all-beef cheeseburger?
juicy.
Well, if you're from
That
Minnesota,
is
your
juicy.
answer has got to be the Juicy Lucy. A beloved Minnesota delicacy, the Juicy Lucy is a rich, savory beef burger stuffed with cheese. And
Oh,
as
that
that burger
sounds
cooks,
good.
that cheese melts into a molten core of golden gooey goodness, just waiting for you to bite into. Out-of-towners may add onions, pickles, or bacon, but locals keep it simple and let their Lucy shine.
Okay.
As legend has it, Mississippi's po' boy got its start when a pair of former streetcar conductors turned restaurateurs and opened a popular eatery. To give back to the community, they handed out free sandwiches to folks who were down on their luck. The sandwiches varied considerably. Some had roast beef, some contained chicken fingers, and some packed fried seafood. But they all had one thing in common. They were served on a French-style baguette they called po' boy bread. The name
Okay.
stuck, and Mississippians are still clamoring for the sandwich even now. The story of toasted ravioli is a simple one. A tired Missouri chef was rushing to finish an order he was working on when he accidentally dropped a few large ravioli in hot oil instead of boiling water. The
Oh,
restaurant's
it was
owner tried to
accidental.
salvage them with some Parmesan, and
Nice work.
everyone loved them. Soon, these toasted ravioli were popping up throughout
Oh,
St.
wow.
Louis before spreading across the Show Me State to the rest of the country.
I guess the only thing I was thinking to do
I've
is
never had normal ravioli, to be fair.
I have.
I don't think I've ever had normal, never mind toasted, but it looked nice. It did look nice.
Some toasted ravioli. I grew up on that, so anytime I come back here, I always got to eat it.
A classic Native American dish that's been popular in Montana for generations, fry bread tacos take everything there is to love about Mexican food and elevate it with the warm, yeasty, crisp bite you can only get from fresh baked bread. Starting with fried bread, you then top it with spicy seasoned ground beef,
like
tomatoes, cheese, salsa, and sour cream. No wonder the fry bread taco is such a favored comfort staple. If you haven't spent a lot of time in Nebraska, then the Runza sandwich may be a mystery. But for any true Cornhusker, there's no debating the incredible appeal of the Runza. Believed to have been brought to the state in the late 1800s by German and Russian immigrants, a typical Runza consists
you
of
never just see something with like a bit of mince or cheese. It's always got stuff in it.
Loads of flavour.
It's got loads of different spices in it, stuff like which you just
Like a hot dog with ketchup.
Exactly. That's what you get in the UK. You get a bit of meat.
Maybe onions if you're lucky.
Maybe onions, and then that's pretty much it. You actually just get so much spice and flavour in it. I was also thinking as well, if you're from any of these states, let us know if you disagree with these. If you think, no,
something else.
My whole family goes to this for comfort food, you know? Let us know.
Savory pastry dough that's stuffed with ground beef, onions, and cabbage, and then baked to a crispy golden brown.
There's all sorts
the regional
in there.
delicacy is so popular that it's even inspired a fast food chain which operates almost exclusively within the state. Maybe it's Nevada's link to all those famous 19th century cattle drives. Maybe it's because Las Vegas was home to the country's first ever all-you-can-eat buffet, where prime rib was a main attraction. Maybe it's the famous roaming prime rib cart at Laurie's The Prime Rib in Las Vegas, which carves and serves up slice after slice of succulent prime rib tableside. Whatever the reason, when it comes to comfort food in Nevada, nothing gets more love than tender, juicy prime rib. Comfort foods often blossom in regions where ingredients aren't the greatest supply.
Can't go wrong.
So what do locals in New Hampshire, one of the nation's leaders in the production of maple syrup, flock to when looking for a taste of home? Maple syrup, of course. And what goes better with the kick of maple than a mountain of pillowy, soft, warm, buttery pancakes? And they're not just for breakfast. Throw some bacon or sausage on the plate to sop up that syrup, and you've got a classic comfort meal for any hour.
Syrup. Never had that.
Depending on where you grew up in Jersey, you may call the state's official sandwich a pork roll, or you might call it a Taylor ham. But however you order it, the ingredients are the same. Slices of processed, smoked pork roll ham that's pan-fried until crispy and then topped with egg and cheese and then placed between two slices of a Kaiser.
We've seen that one before, haven't we? And it still looks nice. Like the second time, I'm like, yeah, I still want that. I want to give that a go.
Roll or sliced bagel. It's simple, it's affordable, it's versatile, it works for every meal. And for folks living in the Garden State, nothing tastes more like home.
When I go to the store, I say pork roll, egg, and cheese.
One of the most popular of all comfort foods in New Mexico is what's known as albondigas, or Mexican meatball soup. Imagine a sea of homemade beef and pork meatballs swimming in a zesty tomato broth with some added chunks of carrots, potato, and zucchini. And you have a pretty good idea just why this dish is so widely loved across the state.
Yeah, that's a winter food, in it, like a nice warm winter food.
Buffalo wings were created in Buffalo, New York, at the Anchor Bar, which is still in operation today. These crispy fried wings are doused in a tangy, spicy sauce and served up with a side of blue cheese dressing, plus celery. They remain a favorite across the Empire State even now, nearly 60 years later, and have spread across the nation to become a favorite of sports fans everywhere.
3,000 tangy wings packed in a black contractor bag, thrown straight through your window in time for kickoff.
North Carolinians know that few culinary dishes pack more beauty than a giant piece of pork shoulder slow cooking over fiery coals. The hours-long process infuses the meat with rich, smoky flavor while also breaking it down until it's melt-in-your-mouth tender. When it's done, pull it apart to serve it, and you've got a Carolina pulled pork. The only thing left to debate is whether you top it with the vinegar-based sauce popular in the eastern part of the state or the tomato-based sauce popular in the west. Choices, choices, choices. Leave it to the folks in North Dakota, one of the nation's leading producers of potatoes, to figure out the ideal way to make an already craveable potato even more delicious. All you have to do is dip your chips in chocolate, of course. It may sound odd, but the unique marriage of salty and sweet is an ideal union. And this is one treat you don't have to live in North Dakota to experience. Just melt some chocolate and add a chip.
True,
it's that
we could
simple.
try that.
The Buckeye is a classic Ohio comfort food that you have to try at least once in your life. This candy confection consists of a ball of peanut butter and sugar dough that's been dipped in chocolate and then chilled until firm. The name for the candy comes from the state's official tree, which produces a similar-looking nut that is mostly dark brown with a speck of lighter brown that is said to resemble the eye of a deer. Clever and pretty darn tasty.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like Indiana's breaded pork tenderloin sandwich, Oklahoma's comfort food of choice also draws inspiration from the
this is going to I feel like this is going to blow my mind. Like, we've got a lot of things on the
I feel like
list.
it's meant to taste like chicken, but it doesn't.
There's so many things on the list I'm super excited for. This is one which kind of goes under the radar, I think. But I'm also kind of like, this is going to blow my mind. It's going to be chicken fried steak.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's just such a weird concept in my head, but I think
can't
I'm
imagine
going
how
to love
it
it.
tastes.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I'm going to love it.
Classic Austrian dish Wiener Schnitzel. Only in this case, the protein in question is a breaded piece of steak. And instead of eating it between two pieces of bread, the classic chicken fried steak is typically served next to a mound of mashed potatoes and topped with a rich, savory gravy. It's
Okay.
the perfect down-home traditional
Mash,
meal
I like
for
mash.
one of the states that leads the nation in beef production.
Nothing wrong with green beans and a chicken fried steak.
Named after the Pacific Coast town known as
Ooh.
Dungeness, where it was first harvested commercially, Dungeness crab has been a staple of the Oregon culinary landscape for decades, and for good reason. As fresh seafood goes, it's among the best you can eat. Sweet, delicate, and slightly nutty flavored, the meat from the crab is tender and moist, and
Okay.
perfect with just a slight hit of butter or freshly squeezed lemon. In Pennsylvania, the comfort food of choice combines bits of
Scrapple.
ham, bacon, sausage, and other unwanted pork scraps, plus cornmeal and spices to make something altogether new and unique. Scrapple. Cut into slices and fried up with breakfast, or cubed and added to omelets,
This-
soup, or stew, scrapple is a meat
looks
product you have to
interesting.
try in order to truly appreciate.
Yeah, I think that's one way you kind of think the concept of that doesn't seem great.
No.
But again, let us know in the comments, is that nice and do we need to try that?
Yeah.
Grapple, I don't want to know what's in it.
Eyeballs and tongues.
Has everything imaginable in it.
Ugh.
Rhode
If
Island
it
has
tastes
taken
good,
clams in a
it tastes
different
good.
direction with the stuffy. Made from fresh chopped clams, plus breadcrumbs, butter, onions, celery, garlic, and spices, the stuffy mixes all the ingredients together, scoops them into a shell, and bakes them until golden brown. For many who grew up in the Ocean State, stuffies epitomize summer and family trips to the beach.
Okay.
Exactly the memories you want from a beloved comfort meal.
Yeah.
The comfort food that folks in South Carolina jones for the most is actually a dip, and an incredible one at that, pimento cheese. Made from a simple blend of grated sharp cheddar cheese, plus diced pimentos and mayonnaise, this spreadable comfort in a bowl is great with fresh veggies or crackers. It can also
Sounds
be used in
good.
sandwiches.
Never
Try
heard
it in
of
a
it.
grilled cheese. Life-changing.
Pimento is a cheese. They call it the caviar of the South.
Caviar
Whether
the
people
South.
in South Dakota are attending a festival, a fair, or a backyard barbecue, there's always one amazing comfort food on the menu: chislik. A variation of the Persian word shishlik, chislik is a play on the classic shish kebab, brought to the region by German and Russian immigrants who settled the area in the late 1800s. The dish typically consists of bite-sized cubes of lamb, beef, or venison that are
Okay.
seasoned with garlic, onion, and black pepper, and then grilled or deep-fried. Everybody knows and loves
I'm
classic
not the biggest fan of lamb,
No, it'd be beef for me.
but I like beef. And I've never tried venison,
No, I'm not.
but it's deer, I believe.
Okay.
But apparently
I'll stick with beef.
it's lovely. Apparently it's absolutely lovely.
I'll stick with beef.
I do need to try venison one day.
American fried chicken, but kick that crisp,
Hot
juicy
chicken,
treat up a
okay.
notch by adding
Oh, so
cayenne
crispy.
pepper, paprika, garlic powder, and black pepper, and you've got a Tennessee favorite, hot chicken. Believed to be the result of another fortuitous kitchen blunder when a chef accidentally added too much spice in her fried chicken, the dish has now become part of the cultural fabric of Nashville. Make sure to order yours with dill pickles. The cool acidity helps to cut through all that fire. Texas is the home of Tex-Mex, an incredible fusion of traditional Mexican and American
Chili con
cuisines.
carne. I do
And the
like
star
chili
of the
con carne.
Tex-Mex
Yeah,
family
never had
is
it.
chili con carne. Originally derived from a traditional Mexican stew of meat and chili peppers, the dish is a hearty and easily transportable food that was a natural fit for the Lone Star State's early
It's a shame we
cowboys.
have that.
Yeah, because I mean, I've not
Because
tried it, but you have.
I've had it for dinners, homemade, so
I
it's
wonder
not like
if
store-bought.
I mean, obviously, there's no point trying it over here
It's
with
the
making
same
it.
ingredients.
But I wonder if it's different in Texas. You got to try it in Texas.
It might
to
be,
see.
but I think when I had it at that New Year's Eve party, and it was the guy made it was a chef.
Yeah.
He made, do you know what I mean?
No, I get what you mean.
So it's it's
so
a shame that is the dish.
Definitely, because we're going to Texas, but
yeah.
definitely no point in us making it. But just in case it is different, might be different
We could
ingredients.
try it, but
We will try it in
yeah,
Texas.
definitely.
Definitely.
And you've not tried it. So.
I've never tried it.
And settlers. Made from a mix of ground beef, chili peppers, onions, tomatoes, and spices, chili con carne is great on its own and even more spectacular when topped with shredded cheese, sour cream, and diced onions. Don't worry, funeral potatoes aren't actually
Wait,
deadly.
what?
R.I.P.
That's just the name Utah's Mormon community has given this highly comforting potato casserole classic.
Oh,
It's
wow.
ideal for a lazy Sunday brunch, large family get-together, or any community potluck. The basic funeral potato recipe includes cubed potatoes, cream of mushroom soup, sour cream, and shredded cheddar cheese mixed together, and topped with corn flakes or breadcrumbs before baking. Creamy, savory, and perfect for sharing.
Okay.
Vermont is
Interesting,
home to some of the world's top apple orchards and is a leader in the production of apple cider. So adding that crisp, refreshing juice to donuts was a natural idea. Apple cider donuts are typically made from a mixture of flour, sugar, baking powder, cinnamon, nutmeg, salt, eggs, butter, and of course, apple cider. The dough is fried and then coated with a thick layer of cinnamon and sugar. Look for homemade versions at farmers markets and roadside stands throughout the state. They're a Vermont staple.
Okay, I
Long
think you'd
before
really
Egg
like them.
McMuffins, there was the Virginia ham biscuit,
Ham
one of the
biscuit,
first portable
interesting.
grab-and-go meals and a classic Old Dominion comfort food even today.
This is
First
probably
created
good.
back in the colonial era, ham biscuits were originally all about the ham. Almost all rural families raised and smoked their own meat, and putting a couple of slices of that homegrown ham in the middle of a fresh biscuit, perhaps with some added mustard, mayo, or honey, was considered an ideal way to help the meat shine.
Okay.
Washington
sense.
State
Yeah.
is one of the leading producers of sweet cherries in the US, and when you have a lot of cherries, you make cherry pie.
Have you
This
ever had
delicious
cherry pie?
I've had
Never
cherry
had it.
crumble,
Oh,
which
okay.
is obviously different.
Yeah, so maybe we should
But
try.
I keep trying to Google how to make it because I really love the cherry crumble.
It
But
looks
maybe I
very
should make
technical.
cherry pie.
All the little cherries.
Maybe I should make cherry pie.
Yeah, maybe we should. Let us know in the comments.
Has been a popular dessert and one of the state's most beloved comfort foods since settlers first arrived in the region and brought their cherry trees with them.
Okay.
A perfect mixture of sweet and tart flavors, cherry pie ticks off all the
bet
boxes
it's
for
really
just what
sweet.
makes a comfort food so appealing. One of West Virginia's most beloved regional specialties, the pepperoni
bet
roll,
that's
is a
good.
bit like a rolled up slice of pizza, except it's made with a thicker, flakier bread dough. And the average pepperoni roll tends to be stuffed with way more filling. Mountains of pepperoni, shredded mozzarella, onion, peppers, and marinara sauce, all heated to perfection inside the portable bread shell.
Wow.
Originally created by Italian immigrants working in the state's coal mines, the humble pepperoni roll has since gone on to become the official meal of the Mountain State.
Okay.
Wisconsin is known for its cheese, so it's no
Oh,
surprise
yes.
that their favorite comfort food is a cheese-based dish. Cheese curds, bite-sized chunks
I
of
want
leftover
these.
fresh cheese that are produced during the making of other cheeses like cheddar, Colby, or Monterey Jack, are one of the state's most popular appetizers
Wow.
and snacks. The shards of cheese, which squeak when you eat them
I
raw,
mean, I do really want some of this, and hopefully we find somewhere in
Yeah.
California and Texas what do these, but we need to make sure we're not on a flight after, because that will wreck my stomach. It will absolutely wreck me, but it will be so nice.
batter dipped,
Look
and
at
then
it.
deep fried to gooey
I don't want to be anywhere
perfection.
near you.
Wyoming is one of the largest states in the nation, but also the least
bison.
populated. Fortunately, all that wide open space leaves plenty of room for natural wonders, including the country's largest herds of buffalo, or bison. Bison burgers use some of that abundant meat, swapping it for beef in any classic hamburger recipe. The
Okay.
result is a leaner, greasier, slightly sweet-tasting burger that folks in the Equality State can't get enough of, with the
wow.
popularity of bison burgers exploding in recent years.
Wow,
Didn't know there was such thing as a bison burger.
I did not.
That's good, isn't it?
That was good.
Oh,
A lot
really
of
good.
different ones as well that we haven't had.
So many we hadn't heard. Sometimes you go into these, you think, oh, we might get a repeat, but who cares? We'll enjoy it anyway. But these were new ones, which was super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
It was good.
Smash that button. Let us know your favourite comfort food in the comments below. And what should we do?
Have a fantastic day.
And I'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.